Hey everyone, welcome to CAT 2021 previous year question slot 1 ka one shot video. In this one shot video, we are going to look at the remaining two sets. तो ये दो सेट हमने मैराथन में किया है. We've done this in the marathon. Yes. The remaining two sets is what we are going to focus at now. Now, the reason behind this video is to enhance your decision making skills. कि अगर आप 4 सेट आपको दिखता है आपके स्लॉट में, उनमें से कौन से दो स्लॉट्स आपको दो सेट्स आपको डेफिनेटली करने चाहिए और कौन से दो या तो स्किप कर सकते हैं या लेटर कर सकते हैं या यू कैन चूज बिटवीन एनी ऑफ दीज, है ना. So we have seen that this set was very easy in that slot, which is a must do. Between set 2, set 3 and set 4, the only difference is these are technically very similar on the sense of the difficulty. The only difference is what is your preference. So set 2 agar aap dekhoge, set 2 is data based LR. If you're comfortable with data based LR, then you will go with set 2. If you look at set 3, this was pure LR, a pure distribution based set. And if you look at set 4, was a pure DI. Now, it's not necessary that all the papers, all the slots follow this. But luckily here we have a good distribution between pure LR, LR based DI and pure DI, right? It normally does not happen that often, but it did this time, right? The second decision making factor that you can pitch in is the number of questions. So if you were to choose this, and if you get the set right, you get only 4 questions. But if you were to choose this, you would get 6 questions. But then again, just for 2 questions, that is 3 and 3, 6 marks, for which again you are not sure. आपको नहीं पता, guarantee नहीं है कि उसमें भी accuracy full रहेगी नहीं रहेगी. For that, would you choose a set that you are not comfortable in? So the entire idea here revolves around the fact whether you are comfortable with the type of set it was. Okay. Again, a lot of you told, बहुत लोगों ने बोला था कि ये वाला जो set था pure DI aggregate is easier. Like I said, it is easier if looked separately. अगर आप उसे एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू में, एग्जाम पर्सपेक्टिव में देखोगे, जहां पे सिर्फ सेट को सॉल्व करना आपका ऑब्जेक्टिव नहीं होता है, बट गिवन टाइम में कीपिंग द एक्यूरेसी, अगेन कीपिंग इन माइंड के LRDI विल बी द सेक्शन दैट कम्स इन द मिडल. इससे पहले आपका VARC होगा 40 minutes and then 40 more minutes for quant. Keeping all of that in mind, would that be a good idea to choose or not, right? So when I give this difficulty level easy, moderate or hard, it's not in general, because in general then what exactly is an easy set? Maybe the kind of sets that are asked in omits, that could be an easy set. Even there then we can further bifurcate, है ना. उसमें फिर वो easy जाके बहुत ज़्यादा easy हो जाएगा, या hard जाके बहुत ज़्यादा hard हो जाएगा. So all of this difficulty level that I'm saying is all about with respect to the paper or with respect to other sets in the same paper, है ना, other sets in the same paper. So among the 4 sets, which one would be easier? Cool. So like I said, we are done with this. These two we are done. We will be looking at these 2 sets now, the moderate and the hard one, research papers and aggregate sales. A research paper, like I said, is a pure LR set, purely based on distribution. The only problem, when we did the analysis, I told you the only problem here is we have too many factors to pitch in, है ना, बहुत ज़्यादा factors हैं. We have papers, we have authors, then we have the edition. Yeah, we have 4 editions. Then we have which country they belong to. Yes, the country they belong to. Then we also have which area they belong to. All right. So keeping in mind these 5 factors, should you be choosing this or not is up to you again. Yeah. On the upside, we have 6 questions. So if you do choose this and you do get it right, then you have almost 6 questions in your pocket. We can't say all the questions are always easy, but we can at least say that, yeah, there are high chances of getting more questions right here than there if you just look at the numbers, right? You cannot predict the future. Just like any probability problem, this is the same situation here. Okay. A journal plans to publish 18 research papers. So we have 18 research papers. We have 18 papers, 8 authors. Further, 4 issues. Okay. Then we have 1, 2, and 3 countries and 3 areas. Okay. It's all about the split up of this now. 18 papers they are saying is split among the 8 authors. It will be split among the 4 issues. It will be split among the 3 countries and 3 areas. When if there are 18 papers and 8 authors, we cannot keep that. We cannot consider the fact that it's not divisible, right? We have to consider the fact that it's not equally distributable. You cannot give 18 by 8 papers to each of them, right? So यहाँ पे क्या होगा? Some of them will have more papers, some of them will have less papers published. Same goes with the issues. Although with country and areas, it does seem like we can split 6 each, but we don't know that for sure, right? आगे बढ़ते हैं. So 18 papers, we have 8 authors who are who? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. E, F, G, H. We have 4 issues, that is Jan, April, July, and October. We have 3 countries, India, Japan, and China. And we have 3 areas, that is manufacturing, automotive, automation, and logistics. Yeah. This is all that's given to us. Now they've also given in each case how many have how many, right? So what are they saying? Each of the research papers was written by exactly one of the 8 authors. 5 papers were scheduled in the first 2 issues. So Jan had 5 papers, April had 5 papers, while 4 were scheduled in each of the last 2 issues. So here 4 and here 4. 18 adds up total. Okay. Next, in terms of country, we've been told that 4 authors are from India. 4 are from India and 2 were each in Japan and China. Okay. Each author belonged to exactly one of the 3 areas. 4 authors were from the logistics. So under logistics, we had 4 authors. 2 were from automation. Since there are 8 authors, 6 is accounted for. Remaining 2 should also be from manufacturing. Okay. Now they're saying as per the, they're saying as per the journal policy, none of the authors could have more than 1 paper in any issue. So in each of the issues in Jan, the 5 papers cannot be from the same, any 2 papers cannot be from the same author. अलग-अलग author ने publish करवाया वहाँ पे. Okay. Since we have 8 authors, that shouldn't be a problem. Out of 8, 5 are giving. Out of 8, 5 are giving. Out of 8, 4. Out of 8, 4. That seems about right. Okay. Now we still don't know. How many each of these will be giving. Each of the 8 authors, how many papers they'll be submitting is not known to us. Okay. Some other information is also given here if we read it carefully. Every author wrote at least 1 paper and at most 3 papers. So for each of these cases, they can either write 1 paper, they can either write 2 papers, or they can write 3 papers. They cannot go beyond 3, they cannot go less than 1, right? So they have to write at least 1 or at most 3. That is 1, 2, or 3 papers. This is one thing that you understand from here. And we also have an equation here. They're saying what? The total number of papers written by A, D, G, H. A, D, G, and H was double of the total number of papers written by the other four authors. This is double of other four. So who are remaining? B, C, E, and F. This thing looks like, you know, an equation that we will be using later, probably where we are stuck. But mind you, if you do not crack this upfront, this can actually cause a problem later. So here is where you think more big picture than just looking at one, focusing on each of these. So each of A, each of D, each of D, each of H could be difficult to find out. But we can find out the total number of papers they could have submitted as one, right, as a group. So what do we know? We know the overall total is 18. 18 total papers were submitted. Okay. So 18 is split in the ratio of 2:1. 2 parts for them and 1 part for them, right? Something of that sort. So 2:1 for 18 is going to be what? 6 and 12. So what do we know? We know that A, D, G, and H together will be submitting 12 papers, and B, C, E, and F together will be submitting 6 papers. Yes. Although here we may have multiple cases, but here, since the possibility is 1, 2, or 3, 12 divided by 4 is 3. The average is 3. Now, I cannot drop from 3. I cannot say that A had submitted only 2 or only 1 paper, because then we do not have 4 or 5 to compensate. है ना? 3 maximum है. Yes, 3 maximum है. उससे कम अगर कुछ भी गया तो अटक जाएगा. So what do we know? We know that A, D, G, and H submitted 3 papers each. Now this is going to be a very good thing to start with. Why? Because now we at least know for 4 people how many papers they'll be submitting. That makes it so much simple with the distribution of the paper and the issues. वो सब ठीक है. अब ये हो गया 3, 3, 3. अब इस 6 को देखते हैं. Let's have a look at 6. Because again we know that 1, 2 or 3 ही possibility है. With that in mind, let's see what we can get here. So if I assume, I don't know whether it's for B, C, E, or F, but if one of them, okay, if one of them submit 3 papers, then C, E, and F, or the remaining 3 will be submitting 1, 1, 1 each, correct? If one of them submits 2, then now we have 4 papers remaining. 4 needs to be distributed among 3 people. So there will be another 2 and then 1 and 1. Could there be a third case? Could we have 3 2s here? Not possible, because 3 2s will give us 6 and this can't be 0. If I were to now increase any of them, one of them will have to decrease. Or if I were to decrease any one of them will have to increase. If I decrease this 2, it will become 1. Either this will become 3, which we have already covered in case 1, or this will become 2, which is technically the same thing. बस order बदल रहे अपन, है ना? हम B, C, E, F को specifically नहीं attack कर रहे. We're just saying one of the authors. So we technically have just 2 cases of these 6 people. 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1. So with this, what do you see? You realize that 2 authors will definitely submit only 1 paper. That's the common here, right? 2 authors will definitely submit only 1 paper. The other 2 authors could either go 3-1 or 2-2 among B, C, E, and F, right? अब बस इसको रख के आगे बढ़ना है. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, put all of this in the form of a table so that it becomes more organized, easy for us to select or eliminate or try out possibilities. ठीक है? So here this is the main table that we are going to work on. Here we have the authors. We have all the 8 authors named here: country, area, papers, and instead of just doing blank, keeping it a blank column, I've put it as Jan issue, April issue, July issue, October issue, and the total. Right now we know that A, D, G, and H will do 3 3 each. बी सी ई एंड एफ में से कोई दो का 2 1 1 आएगा. I'll write it here. B C E F could either be 2 2 1 1 or could be 3 1 1 1. So two of them will definitely have just 1 and 1. Okay. उसके अलावा here I'm this is only to track if we have 5 Jan editions, 5 April issues, 4 July, 4 October. You can also put it here if you want. यहाँ पर भी आप डाल सकते हो कि Jan का टोटल 5 आना चाहिए, April का टोटल 5 आना चाहिए, July का 4 and October का 4. But this kind of made it ये ना reinforce करता है the fact that अगर कहीं पे कुछ भी मिसिंग है या मल्टीपल केसेस बनते तो इट बिकम्स इजी फॉर अस टू कीप अ ट्रैक ऑफ, बिकॉज देर आर सो मेनी फैक्टर्स, याद नहीं रहेंगे, है ना. वी हैव द इश्यू, वी हैव द कंट्री एंड वी हैव द एरिया. तो मैंने ऐसे 3 अलग अलग टेबल जैसा बना के रखा है जस्ट टू कीप ट्रैक ऑफ इट. अपना मेन फोकस विल बी हियर. दिस इज जस्ट टू हेल्प अस व्हेन वी गेट स्टक. So we will start with each of the clues. Let's start with the ones that at least give us something directly. ठीक है. So we have the first one. The first one is the perfect clue to begin with because it gives us everything. It says F is from India. Next they're saying he is from the logistics area. Wrote only one paper. It was scheduled in the October issue. Could there be a more direct clue there? This is the direct test of direct. So यहाँ पे we will have, I'll just to make sure that we can, we know that there is only one paper और वो अक्टूबर में है. तो Jan, April और July को मैं कट करके रख रहा हूँ so that we don't get confused later, है ना. Now like I said, to keep a track of things, ये यहाँ पर भी नोट कर लेंगे अपन. So F is an Indian author. F is from the logistics area. F had one paper in the issue of October. Done? Works. Perfect clue ever. अब second clue देखते हैं. A was from the automation area. A is from the automation area, they're saying. Automation. Now we'll try to cover this simultaneously so that we don't miss out anything, है ना. So A is from automation. Done. And did not have a paper scheduled in the October issue. So A did not have one in the October issue, and we notice that A has to have 3 papers. So if A has to have 3 papers, those 3 are going to be Jan, April and July. Works? Yes. So we have Jan, one of them is A, April, A, July, A. Yes, and he is from the automation. So this was also a very good clue. Sorry. This was also a very good clue because it did give us a lot to think about for A. Next, they're saying none of the Indian authors were from the manufacturing area. So Indians are not from manufacturing area, they're saying. Okay. And none of the Japanese or Chinese authors were from the automation area. So Japanese authors cannot be from automation. Chinese authors cannot be from automation. So if Indian authors cannot be from manufacturing, they have to be either auto or logistics, right? Either A or L. With Japanese, if they cannot be from automation, then they have to be from manufacturing or logistics. Same goes with China. Yes, so this again gives us something to think about, that if any author is from the automation area, it has to be only from India, correct? Because then no automation here, no automation here, only automation here. So this person has to be from India. That's one thing. And logistics is common for all the 3. We have one in India, one in Japan, one in China. I mean, maybe. Again, it's a maybe, right? It could be, it could not be. Logistics, we have 4 people in total. Logistics, we have 4 people in total. Automation, we have just 2. Of these two, we already know one of them is A. So can I say A has to come here? A is an Indian because he is an automation author. So we figured that out also. So A is completely sorted. A and F completely sorted, right? Again, ये easy था क्योंकि हमने इस पे due diligence किया है ना. ये 3 we figured out. That's why this became evident कि it has to be Jan, April and July. If we did not know this 3, which still be stuck, which of the issues did he submit his paper for, है ना? So that being said, I think we can move on to the next clue then. Yeah. A and H were from different countries but had their papers scheduled in the same issue. So we have no clue what H is about. And H has 3 papers. What are they saying? A and H, different countries but had their papers scheduled in the same issues. So we know that this guy also has 3 papers. So H will also have his papers issued in Jan, April and July. So Jan, we will have H, April, H, July, H, no H in October. Yes. That being said, we know cannot be in October. What else are they saying? In the first part of the clue, they're saying A and H were from different countries. Okay. So if A and H are from different countries, A was from India. H could either be from Japan or from China. We're not really sure. We're going to keep this as a question mark. Let's see where it takes us, है ना? तो क्या है? H could either be from Japan or China. So I'm going to keep one of the cases to be Japan, the other case to be China. We are not sure. And if he is from Japan or China, then it has to be either manufacturing or logistics, not logarithms. Algebra does that to people, है ना? Log देखते logarithms ही याद आता है, logistics नहीं याद आता है. Anyway, so ये जो आगे का inference हम निकाल रहे हैं logistics, manufacturing, उसे रखते हैं, देखते हैं. Let's see what we get from there. Okay. So C I'm going to put on, clue 4 I'm going to put on hold because we almost understood this, but we might want to revisit this again, है ना? ये help करेगा to find out the area in which H belongs to. Yes. 5th point देखते हैं. C and D are both Chinese. Beautiful. C and E are both Chinese. C and E both Chinese. China here and China here. Okay. From different areas. They are from different areas. So when they are from different areas with Chinese authors, we have only manufacturing or logistics. We get cases, right? What happens? If C is from manufacturing, then E will be from logistics. Or if C is from logistics, then E has to be from manufacturing. Yeah, that's the overall idea there. आगे बढ़ते हैं. क्या बोल रहे हैं? At the same number of papers scheduled. C, we don't know how many papers. E, we don't know how many papers. So we kind of stuck there. C and E. The number of papers should be same. Next, what are they saying? Further, E had papers scheduled in consecutive issues of the journal, but C did not. Now, what does this mean? Consecutive journals, consecutive issues. So with E, if E gives, say, gives 3 papers, okay? If E gives 3 papers, then what would happen? We would have 1, 2, 3 consecutively like this, or 1, 2, 3 consecutively like this, right? That's the overall idea. But can E give 3 papers? No. Why? If E gives 3 papers, then C will also give 3 papers. That will make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people giving 3 papers. That's not possible. All right. It could either be 4 people giving 3 papers or 5 people giving 3 papers. Right. तो वो नहीं हो सकता. This shows us कि 3 नहीं है. I'll use a different color here. 3 नहीं है. That's okay. This can't be 3. एंड क्योंकि यहाँ पे कंसेक्यूटिव का क्लियरली बोला, एविडेंटली बोला है कि कंसेक्यूटिव है, मे भी नहीं बोला, मे भी कंसेक्यूटिव नहीं बोला, कंसेक्यूटिव है, मतलब अगर एक ही पेपर है तो वी शो इट कंसेक्यूटिवली। लेट्स से अगर ई का सिर्फ जैन में ही है तो कंसेक्यूटिव कैसे हुआ, फिर वो एक ही पेपर है, हाउ इज इट कंसेक्यूटिव? टू मेक इट कंसेक्यूटिव इट हैज टू बी मोर देन वन, करेक्ट? So it can't be one also. This leaves us with only one option, that is being two, right? So again ये thought निकलना बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है, 2 and 2। यहाँ पे एक बार stop करते हैं, we'll come back to this consecutive thing, we'll finish this part। So what do we have? 3 3 3 3, 2 times 2's, so when we have 2 times 2's the other 2 will be 1's, correct? तो ये केस नहीं, ये सही है। So we have one person left B, उसका भी only one paper है। Done? Alright. Now let's go to the consecutive part। क्या बोल रहे हैं? E का consecutive है, C का नहीं है। दो लोगों का consecutive होना, एक person का consecutive होना चाहिए, एक का नहीं। Which means what will happen in case of two, दो पेपर consecutive कहाँ कहाँ हो सकते हैं? With E, we can have either these two being consecutive or these two being consecutive or these two being consecutive. But C में specifically बोला है कि consecutive नहीं है, right? तो क्या हो जाएगा यहाँ पे? If let's say अगर C का जैन में है तो अप्रैल में नहीं, जुलाई में हो सकता है या फिर अक्टूबर में हो सकता है। When you put these two together, what do you see? There is only one such case possible जहां पे सेम नंबर ऑफ पेपर्स होने चाहिए एंड कंसेक्यूटिव होने चाहिए। यस, एक के कंसेक्यूटिव होने चाहिए, दूसरे का नॉन कंसेक्यूटिव होने चाहिए, राइट? दिस गिव्स अस ओनली वन पॉसिबिलिटी वेयर वी हैव सी हैविंग पेपर्स इन जैन एंड अक्टूबर एंड ई हैविंग पेपर्स इन अप्रैल एंड जुलाई। ये दो कंसेक्यूटिव है, ये दो नहीं है। यस, तो लेट्स पुट दिस। जैन में C है, अक्टूबर में C है, नेक्स्ट अप्रैल और जुलाई में E है। अप्रैल एंड जुलाई वी हैव E, ओके। विल आल्सो मेक इट वेरी क्लियर कि ये नहीं है बॉस, इसमें नहीं है ना? गिव्स अस अ बेटर क्लैरिटी। तो एक चीज तो सॉर्टेड है, वी फाउंड आउट हाउ मेनी पेपर्स ईच ऑफ दीज ऑथर्स आर पब्लिशिंग, तो दैट इज गुड। या, so clue 5 I think was very useful if you can think in the right way, that is। Let's look at clue 6। B is from the logistics area, perfect। B is from logistics, nice। Had a paper scheduled in the April issue of the journal, so B can only submit one and he has submitted in April। B can only submit one and he has submitted in the month of April, so all of these are not possible for B। Yep, perfect, good। Again ये समझ में आ रहा है? This we could finalize only because we found out the total number of papers each are submitting, वरना फिर वहीं पे हम गोल गोल घूमते रहेंगे कि है नहीं है, then multiple cases, way too complex। Next they're saying B and G belong to the same country। Do we know which country B belongs to? No. Do we know which country G belongs to? No। So we're kind of stuck there, है ना? B and G are from the same country, so if B and G have to be from the same country, I think we can figure out। B and G have to be from the same country, they can't be from China, either they are both from Japan or they are both from India, right? Either they are both from Japan and both from India, okay? So we have B and G being in the same country, and we also had a clue here that said A and H were from different countries। A and H are from different countries, so it's got to be what? A, if A is here, the only place for H is here, correct? In Japan। अगर A यहाँ पर है, CE is taken up by China, so H has to be for Japan। I'll just mention that here। फर्दर बी एंड जी साथ में रहना है तो यहाँ पे तो नॉट पॉसिबल बिकॉज आउट ऑफ 2 1 is sorted. That means B and G both are from India. Yes, B and G are both from India. You'd be wondering, sir, इतना धीरे धीरे क्यों कर रहे हैं? Because when you rush into these kind of pure LR sets में जब आप rush करते हो, you skip something. The moment you skip something, everything falls apart. Yes, so the slower the better. My idea is to get the 6 questions right, not get it quickly. Right? I mean, not in a rush. जल्दी तो करेंगे obviously, but rush में नहीं करेंगे. Okay? So BG belong to the same country. I think we have only one person left now. A, B, C. It has to be D from Japan. D is from Japan. This way we have covered all the countries. I wrote Japan here in the areas section, areas column. So finally we have all the countries also sorted. Good thing. None of their papers were scheduled in the same issue. Now, this is important. None of their papers scheduled in the same issue. Who? B and G. If you look at B, B has a paper in the month of April. G has to give 3 papers, right? 3 पेपर देना है. अगर इसका अप्रैल में है तो इसका अप्रैल में नहीं हो सकता है, correct? If B has his paper published in April issue, then G can never have it in April issue, and G has to have 3 papers published. That means Jan, July, October is for G. Jan, July, October is for G. Yeah. So this also kind of makes sense for us. We just need to find out who one more person for April. 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more person for October. 1, 2, and 3. We still have some more clues left. Nice clue. D, Japanese author from manufacturing area. So who's from manufacturing? D is from manufacturing. D is from manufacturing. Okay. Did not have a paper scheduled in July. D, no July. D also has 3. Nice. So D did not have it in July. D did not have it in July. That means D should have had it in Jan, April, and October. Jan, April, October. So Jan, done. April, done. October, done. This way, we now know what 18 papers were in which issue. Yes, किसके कौन से issue में था. Here we know author wise, here we know issue wise. Perfect. We figured out which country they belong to. Nice. We just need to work on this now. We just have to need to work on this. Now we know only Indians can be from automation. Only Indians can be from automation. And in automation, we need only one more person. In automation, we need only one more person. So either, so if we look at Indians, one of them is from auto, one of them from logistics, one of them from logistics. Only one more person is left in India, that is G, and one more person left in automation. So it has to be automation for G. Yes, G has to be an expert in the automation area. Done. So G is in automation area. We still kind of stuck here, है ना? चलो आगे और clues भी है, देखते हैं. Done. C and H belong to different areas. Nice. C and H belong to different areas. Do we know anything about C? No. Do we know anything about H? No. But we know one thing. What do we know? We know that if C is manufacturing, then E will be logistics. If C is manufacturing, then H should also be logistics, because C and H are different areas. If this is M, this is L. This will also be L. If this is L, this is M, this is M. What do we know now? We know that manufacturing only has one slot open. Manufacturing only has one slot open. So we cannot have two people going in manufacturing. That means this one is out. And we can finally say, yeah, this one. So this guy will be from manufacturing. This guy from logistics. And this one from logistics. सही है? क्योंकि दो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का जगह ही नहीं है बस एक ही मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का जगह है तो C is in manufacturing and the other two folks that is E and H are from logistics. Phew. So whenever you have these many factors इतने सारे जब factors रहते हैं it always makes sense for us to go slow. जल्दी जल्दी में you skip one small thing, you make one wrong calculation, you put it instead of in the second column, you put it in the third column, it's all ruined, है ना? अभी एक बार if you want quickly check कर लो, we have 9 clues. Go through these 9 clues and see if it makes sense. देखें फटाफट. F Indian. F is Indian. Logistics. Only one paper. And October. So I'm not going to do that. आप लोग pause करके एक बार check कर लो कि all 9 clues are satisfied or not. ठीक है? So with this we have our final bay. We no longer need this or this or this because whatever is mentioned here is already here. But if and when need arises, we can bring them back. Okay? चलेंगे अभी. Okay, so now that our bay is ready, we can get on with the first question. What is the correct sequence of number of papers written by B, C, E, and G? Right? If you notice here, none of the 4 options give us any one definite value. वरना फिर हम उसे रख के कुछ ना कुछ ब्राउनी निकाल सकते थे उससे. तो B का अगर हम देखेंगे, somewhere in one option it is 3, in the other it is 1. It's either 1 or 3. Again, with C हम देखेंगे, it's either 1 or 2 or 3, right? So the options are also kind of smartly curated कि हम उसमें से कोई brownie ना निकाल ले, right? So the only way to answer this would be to get the definite answer out of it. B, C, E, and G. So we have B being 1, C being 2, B, C, E, and G. Right, so we have 1, 2, 2, 3. This is our answer. Option C. But either which ways, I think we had initially found out that we would have H being a 3 initially itself, है ना? वो equation रख के हमने निकाल दिया था कि H का 3 होगा. So if we know H is 3, we can still make a good guess because B and D options are out. These two options are out. Between B being 3 and B being 1, I think somewhere it directly says कि B, yeah, B का directly बोल दिया था ना, B is from India. Was it? B, no. Yeah, B का बोला था कि had a paper. We don't know if we had only one paper. So that could have been a little risky, but we could have taken that risk, I think. But anyway, अब जो हमने बे बना ही लिया है तो फिर उसकी बात ही नहीं करते. चलो next. How many papers were written by Indian authors? Indian authors. So we have India, and India. We have 3, 1, 4. 5 and 3, 8 in total. So the answer to this question is 8. Beautiful. Yeah. The next one is statement based. They are saying which of the following statements must be true. 2 statements have been given to us and the options are only statement A, neither of the statements, both the statements, or only B. Right? उसके बीच में हमें decide करना है. Statement A says every issue had at least one paper by authors from each country. Yeah, one paper from each country. In which, in every issue that should happen, they're saying. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a quick look at if we have all the countries. So we need to look at India, we need to look at China and Japan for each of these. If you look at Jan, we have one India, no longer need to look at India. We have one China, one Japan. Yes, so Jan works beautifully. April, we have one India, we have one Japan and one China. This also works. July has an India, has a China. We need one Japan. For July, we have. October, we have China, we have Japan. We need one India in October. We have. So statement A is actually true. Yes, we have at least one paper by authors from each country in each of the issues. Perfect. So anything that says option A could be false, let's eliminate that. No, A is true, so we can let go of option B, and D is also gone. Between A and C, now we have to judge whether the second statement is true or no. I'm going to erase this so that it doesn't cause a problem. Chalo. What's the second statement? Every issue had at most 2 papers by authors from each area. At most 2. At most 2. This means what? Less than or equal to 2. Or in simple words, there should either be 0 publications or 1 publication or 2 publications by authors of the same area, है ना, in each year. So in each issue, not year. Her issue में we should have 0, 1 or 2. So what we are kind of looking at is if we can prove it wrong by bringing in more than 2, क्योंकि 0 से कम तो जा नहीं सकता, number of papers can't be negative. More than 2 हो सकता है क्या, is the idea there, right? So we have auto, we have manufacturing and we have logistics. Automation में देखो, do we have, so you can probably go look at all the Y's in each of this, है ना? So auto में we have 1, auto में we have 2, so auto is safe here, right? Manufacturing में we have 2. So I think you understand now कि automation और manufacturing देख के कोई मतलब नहीं है, क्योंकि उसमें 2 ही है. So 2 या 1 या 0 are the only possibilities. अगर 3 papers लाने हैं in an issue, we need to focus at what? We need to focus at logistics, है ना? क्योंकि logistics में there are 4 authors in the logistics area, which means this could be the only way where we can get more than 2, है ना? So Jan नहीं है, Jan के लिए true है ये. Let's look at April now. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3. Bingo. Yes. So April में logistics के 3 पेपर publish हुए थे, but ये क्या बोल रहे हैं कि at most 2 ही होने चाहिए from each area. So this one is false. You see, the moment you turn around the statement, है ना, statement आपके सामने कैसे present किया जाता है, आप उसका क्या interpretation करते और inference निकाल के answer करते, that's where the trick is, right? वरना फिर हम क्या करते, every issue we would have gone for it, right? So the idea is no longer to look at automation or manufacturing, क्योंकि उसमें दो ही author हैं, उसमें भी some may not have given in that particular issue. So 0, 1, 2 are the only possibilities, right? What are we looking at? We're looking at more than 2. So yeah, with this statement B is definitely a false statement. So we have our option A, only statement A is true. Okay? Have a look at the next one. Which of the following statements is false? When they say is false, and false capital में इसलिए दिया है कि it should be false in every situation possible. ठीक है? So they again talking about every issue, which is a big issue for us, but it is what it is. Let's make do with it. ठीक है? Every issue had exactly 1 paper by a Chinese author. So we now focused at Chinese authors, which is C and E, right? तो क्या देखना है कि एवरी ईयर एवरी इश्यू में उनका एक ग्रीन तो होना चाहिए. यहाँ पे एक ग्रीन है, दोनों में से कोई एक ग्रीन होना चाहिए. वी डू नॉट हैव इट हियर, करेक्ट? एवरी इश्यू नहीं, सॉरी, हम किसी और को ही देख रहे हैं. हाँ, ये दो, दीज टू. तो एक यस है चलेगा, एक यस है चलेगा, एक यस है चलेगा, एक यस है चलेगा. इफ यू रिमेंबर सी एंड ई का ये सिंपल सा फंडा था. दे हैड गिवन इट इन द कंडीशंस के सी एंड डी के सेम इश्यू में नहीं होंगे. इक्वल नंबर ऑफ पेपर सेम इश्यू में नहीं है. तो वी कुड हैव एक्चुअली लेट गॉन ऑफ दिस, क्योंकि फिर जैन में एक ही का होगा, अप्रैल में एक ही का होगा, जुलाई का एक का होगा और अक्टूबर में एक का डेफिनेटली होगा. राइट. एनीवे, एवरी इश्यू हैड नहीं, उसका क्या कंडीशन था, कंजिक्यूटिव वाला था. सो दैट कुड हैव बीन ट्रिकी. नाइस. लेट्स हैव अ लुक एट द सेकंड वन. मतलब ये ट्रू है, द स्टेटमेंट इज ट्रू, सो वी डोंट वांट इट. ओके, द स्टेटमेंट इज ट्रू. Every issue had at least one paper by authors from automation. So let's focus on automation now. China is gone. Let's focus on automation. We have automation. We have automation. The Indians, है ना? Every issue had at least one paper from automation. We have one, yes. Do we have one? Yes. Do we have one? Yes. We don't have one here, but we have that one here. So got it. This is also true. Sadly, we did not get to our answer just yet. Let's try C. Every issue had exactly two papers. Now, this could be a little rare, है ना? Exactly. When they say exactly two, exactly one, this could kind of puts it on a ledge के भाई exactly है, कम है तो भी नहीं, ज़्यादा है तो भी नहीं, है ना? Every issue exactly two papers from logistics. तो लॉजिस्टिक्स का क्या सीन है? वी नीड मोर देन टू. डू वी हैव इट? यस, वी हैव इट. ये क्वेश्चन, कैन इट बी अ ब्राउनी क्वेश्चन? बिकॉज वी नो के लॉजिस्टिक्स में ही, प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन में हमने देखा था, लॉजिस्टिक्स में ही ऐसा हो रहा है जहां पे 3 आए थे. कौन से इश्यू में? अप्रैल में. वी हैव 1, वी हैव 2 एंड वी हैव 3. So that one piece of information is helping us answer 2 questions. Yes, so every issue had exactly 2 papers. It did not. This is false. Here we have 3. So this one is, one of those questions. You're within a question, a brownie. Right? It's not a brownie separately, but within the question. Once you solve one of the questions, it's definitely a brownie. If you want, you can also try with D. Every issue had exactly 2 papers by Indian authors. Indian, and Indian. We've seen 2 yeses. 2 yeses. 1 and 2 yeses. 1 and 2. Sub mein hai. Yeah. So statement C also can be, D can also be eliminated, giving us C to be the sole answer. Okay. Another one with the statements. The problem with these statement based questions is करते रहो थक जाओगे. राइट. वरना अगर डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन है कि जैसे वो पहले क्वेश्चन में था कि क्या ऑर्डर है, या इस पर्टिकुलर ऑथर का, या इस कंट्री का, या इस एरिया का कितना है, दैट इज सो मच सिंपल टू टैकल दैन दी स्टेटमेंट वंस, है ना? बहुत टाइम कंज्यूमिंग है. And if you don't read the statement carefully, you might actually fall in traps made by yourself. Which of the following statements is false, they're asking. Okay. Let's see if we can figure out something that we already know. वहाँ से कुछ अगर निकाल लें तो, but नहीं है. They're going area and issue wise separately. So there was exactly 1 paper by an author from logistics in October. तो अक्टूबर में लॉजिस्टिक्स का देख रहे हैं. एस को देखेंगे पता चल जाएगा ना. ये लॉजिस्टिक्स से नहीं है, ये लॉजिस्टिक्स से नहीं है, ये लॉजिस्टिक्स से है. हाँ, सो वी हैव एग्जैक्टली 1 फ्रॉम लॉजिस्टिक्स व्हिच इज इन देयर फेवर. सो दिस वन's आउट. दिस इज ट्रू. yes, this is a true statement. Let's have a look at the second one. There was exactly one paper by an author from manufacturing in April. April, manufacturing. We have one yes. We have only two manufacturing folks, and one of them is yes, the other is no. Perfect. This is also true, don't want it. There were exactly two papers, manufacturing July. July, manufacturing exactly two. Two are out. Nope. Both of them do not give, specifically do not give their publications in July. So this has to be the false one. This must be our answer, but we are going to confirm by eliminating D also. Why have that extra string of thought in your mind when you go to the next question or next set के यार वो वाला सही है नहीं है अब याद आ रहा है कुछ तो रफ शीट में दिख जाएगा. Might as well confirm it and get it over with, है ना? There were exactly two papers by authors from manufacturing in Jan. Yes, yes, done. It took us what, like 10 seconds extra. Now we are very sure, है ना? We are very sure this is true. So this is gone. Option C is our answer. And now we can go to the next question or next set peacefully. The last one, which of the following is the correct sequence of number of papers by authors from automation, manufacturing and logistics respectively? So for automation, we have how many? 3 plus 3, 6. We need to have 6, which leaves this one out. Then for manufacturing, we need to see. Manufacturing ka hai 2 and 3, 5. So we need a 6 and then a 5. No, we have our answer. Yeah, technically the other one should be a 7, which adds up to 18. You can also check that. If this was one of those easy sets, they would have given something could have messed up in the options also, but very carefully curated options also. 6, 5, 7 कहीं कोई भी angle में आप add करो 18 ही आता है, and 6, 6, 6 is also 18, है ना? What else is left? We have to look at for a confirmation for logistics. Logistics have 1, 3, 4, 7. Kind of has to be क्योंकि out of 18 अगर 6 and 5 हो गया तो बाकी 7 ही बचेगा, but still अपनी तसल्ली के लिए. So with this we are done with the set. I definitely give it a moderate set. Moderate because it was not data heavy. It did not in fact include any data at all except for the number of papers, but that was doable. But for the complexity, for the length, for the number of factors, it did kind of lose us in the middle, है ना? बीच में ऐसा हो गया था कि यार इतना सारा 9 तो clues and conditions थे, right? But still, this is a better set, I would say, a better set than the next set that we are going to see. I mean, if it were my opinion, if it mattered, I would rather go with this than going for the next one because the next one is super annoying. Speaking of which, let's have a look at this. It's a pure DI, data heavy. For people who are comfortable with pure DI and data heavy sets where not much is given in the chart, है ना? If you look at the chart, there are 19. We counted. There are 19, 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 subcategories. 2 pieces of data, 34 pieces of data to directly take and make a note of shouldn't be a tough task, but like I said, एक ये आपके कंप्यूटर स्क्रीन पे होगा, पेपर पे नहीं, so you using the finger or the pen could not be very helpful here. अगर आप इसे थोड़ा zoom out करके पेन से करोगे हो सकता है, but फिर you won't get the clarity, right? For example, अब यहाँ पे तो बहुत बड़ा और मेरा पेन compared to the screen is way too small. But still, if you look at this, ऐसे करने के लिए I have to do this, right? या तो मैं लाइन बनाऊंगा, which you won't have the luxury of, क्योंकि आप स्क्रीन पे अगर आप लाइन बनाने लग गए तो फिर तो हो गया बॉस. स्क्रीन पे लाइन खरोचे कर रहे हो आप, डिस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी. So That's one reason why I don't like the set, these kind of sets. And cat has stopped doing this. Out of nowhere एक extremely difficult बनाना था या एक proper DI based बनाना था, maybe one of these two cases में उन्होंने ये set डाला है. I've told this in the marathon also कि ऐसा set we normally see in tests like ZAT, है ना. ZAT में हमें normally ऐसे दिखते हैं, we don't see like this in CAT. It's a very rare thing that has happened. चलो फटाफट पढ़ते हैं. Horizontal bars are 2020. 2020 sales in $1 million of a company for the different subcategories of its product. Top 4 products are furniture. 1, 2, 3, 4. ये furniture है. Bottom 4 accessories, copiers, machines and phones are technology. And the remaining are office supplies. Yes. Anything else apart from that? For each of the product subcategories, there is a vertical line indicating the sales of the corresponding category in 2019. तो ये जो बार वाला जो वैल्यू है दैट इज 2020 का, और ये जो लाइन वाला वैल्यू है इज फॉर 2019. Yes. Now let's have a quick look at the questions. For all that effort that we put, 4 questions is just not worth it. They're just being cruel now, है ना. बहुत ज़्यादा हार्श हो रहे हैं कि सेट डिफिकल्ट देंगे, डेटा हैवी देंगे, डेटा लेबल देंगे, नहीं देंगे, मार्क नहीं करेंगे. हाँ, डेटा अच्छा सीधा सीधा देंगे, नहीं, कुछ भी हो सकता है. 0.2, 0.3, 0.25, 0.212 कुछ भी हो सकता है. राइट. और 6 क्वेश्चन देंगे, इतना कॉम्प्लेक्स करके 6 क्वेश्चन, नहीं नहीं नहीं, छोड़ना, 4 दे के खत्म. So we have 4 questions. One good thing is we have a theta. The 2 questions we have is all talking about in terms of the change या फिर in terms of the total, है ना. तो आपको ज़्यादा कुछ complex calculation नहीं करना है. You either have to just take up the total or you have to look at the percentage change, right? They are not going for CAGR. They could have made it worse. Trust me, अगर मैं होता और मेरे को चुल होती कि बॉस नहीं, मैं तो एकदम डेथली सेट बनाऊंगा, मतलब देख के एक बार को कोलेस्ट्रॉल लेवल बढ़ जाए, बीपी घट जाए, कुछ ऐसा हो जाए, तो आई वुड हैव डन दैट. मैं CAGR इसमें डाल देता, मैं कुछ भी एग्रीगेट रख के फिर उसमें फर्दर एक्सटेंशन करके कर देता, राइट. बट देन दे डिसाइडेड टू ब्रिंग बैक द ह्यूमन इमोशन कि नहीं यार इतना बस है. So if you were to skip this set, you would only lose 4 questions, which is okay. If this were a 6 set question and you were to skip it, फिर दिल थोड़ा दुखता है ना. Anyway, so it is what it is. We have the 4 questions. चलते फिर. डेटा करो, अभी क्या कर सकते हैं, अप्रोक्सीमेट करो और ख़त्म करो कहानी. तो 2020 के वैल्यूज़ निकालो भाई. अगर आप लोग ये मोबाइल स्क्रीन पे देख रहे हो तो पेन रख लो, अगर आप ये मॉनिटर पे देख रहे हो तो मॉनिटर पे भी मैं रख के देख रहा हूँ ना. इट्स नॉट वेरी कन्वीनियंट, क्योंकि आपको एक ऐसे रख के नहीं होगा, फिर आपको ऊपर से नीचे करना पड़ेगा या फिर उस चार्ट को जूम आउट करके करना पड़ेगा. ईदर विच वेज इट्स अ एंड डूइंग ऑल ऑफ दिस व्हेन यू आर इन द मिडल ऑफ लाइफ एंड डेथ, है ना. मतलब वहां पे एवरीथिंग इज एट स्टेक, क्योंकि आपने एक सेट कर लिया, आपको एक और करना है. डू और डाई सिचुएशन है. यू प्रोबेबली हैव ओनली इनफ टाइम टू डू 1 सेट, क्योंकि तीनों सेट टाइम कंज्यूमिंग है. हमने देखा स्मूदीज टाइम कंज्यूमिंग है. द सेकेंड वन दैट विद द थर्ड क्वेश्चन, द थर्ड सेट दैट वी सॉ अभी जो देखा था रिसर्च पेपर, वो भी टाइम कंज्यूमिंग है, और वॉज ये भी टाइम कंज्यूमिंग है. सो इट्स ईदर वन ऑफ देम, एंड ऐसे सिचुएशन में आप रहोगे, यू डू हाफ ऑफ दिस एंड देन रियलाइज नहीं, आई एम गोना स्किप इट. आई थिंक यू शुड नॉट देन, क्योंकि इतना ही टाइम है आपके पास, कोई एक सेट उठाओ, स्टिक विथ इट. यू कांट देन मिडवे, यू कांट चेंज डिसीजंस, क्योंकि फिर आप बीच में अटक जाओगे ना. आप ये वाला सेट कर पाओगे ना दूसरा जो आप चूज करोगे. सो है ना, डू और डाई काइंड ऑफ अ सिनेरियो. So yeah, I'm going to be a little lazy here and I'm going to quickly turn this into a table, right? But I'll show you what you can do in complex situations. उससे पहले ना एक बार questions को देखो कि क्या questions are the questions very precise with the options. Do we have a good number of good amount of gap between the options? तो फर्स्ट में अगर आप देखोगे they are asking for total sales 16.5 and 12.5 अच्छा खासा गैप है, बट 16.5 and 18 जस्ट 1.5 का गैप है. तो ये 1.5 जो है अगर आप 0.2 करके कहीं 7 जगह पे आप मिस्टेक कर दे तो ये दिक्कत क्रिएट कर देगा, है ना. लेट्स से इफ यू आर यू गेट द डेटा एंड यू आर इन बिटवीन से 18 और 16.5 के बीच में आप यू गेटिंग समवेयर अराउंड 17.25 राइट. 17.25 अगर आ रहा है तो यहाँ से भी यू आर 0.75 अवे एंड यहाँ से भी यू आर 0.75 अवे, फिर अटक जाओगे. फिर क्या है, ऑब्वियसली ऐसा होता नहीं है कि एग्जैक्ट एक्यूरेट क्वेश्चन में, एक्यूरेट सेट में ऐसा नहीं होगा, because if you get the actual values it is going to be either 18 or 16.5 या something very close to each other. दोनों के बीच में आके अटकाएगा नहीं, ऐसा है ना. But so it's one reason why I did not like this set, because of the options also. कुछ ज़्यादा दूर दूर देते तो भी हम estimate लेके कर लेते, right. Again if you look at 12.5 and 13.5 just 1 का gap. At least यहाँ पे इन्होंने थोड़ा 1.5 का तो गैप दिया था, यहाँ पे just 1 का गैप. So it seemed like ये forcibly complex बनाया जा रहा था set, so I would definitely skip it. Second में अच्छा है, second में अच्छा है. We either have only 1% or we have 8% or a direct jump to 20 or a direct jump to 25. This is still okay, है ना. This is manageable. Question 3 is theta, so we have no clue. Question 3 is theta, so we have no clue if we are doing it right or wrong. But at least यहाँ पे सिर्फ count करने, so how many है count करने हैं. The answer will be integers only. Question 4 क्या है? We have to arrange it based on the maximum percentage increase for that particular category. चलो फिर. So like I said, I've put it in a table already. आप अपने केस में भी कंपेयर करके देख सकते हैं कि क्या ये मैच हो रहा है या नहीं. We will definitely have some hiccups here and there. In a lot of places जब मैंने चालू किया ये सॉल्व करना, in a lot of places I went के चलो यार 0.05 नहीं देखेंगे, अप्रोक्सीमेट कर देंगे. I just want 1 decimal place. तो फर्स्ट इफ यू नोटिस सब जगह पे मैंने 1 decimal place के साथ मैनेज कर लिया. अगर वो ऊपर नीचे भी होता था 1 decimal place के साथ कर लिया. बट एज टाइम वेंट बाई पता चला कि व्हेन वी गो फॉर 1 decimal place, in some of the cases we are getting the same value. I'll give you an example. जैसे यहाँ पे जैसे यहाँ पे है ना, फास्टनर्स का दिख रहा है आपको. फास्टनर्स का केस में देखो, इफ यू डोंट गो 2 decimal places, यू आर बेसिकली सेइंग दोनों सेम ही वैल्यू है. अब इसे अपन 0.5 0.0 के बीच से थोड़ा कम है, लेट्स से आई कॉल दिस 0.2 और समथिंग, या 0.1 0.2 बोलते, चलो 0.1 विल बी वे टू लेस. अगर ये 0.2 है तो ये लाइन क्या करेंगे फिर 0.17 0.1318. यस, तो 1 decimal place से हुआ ही नहीं, 2 decimal place तो चाहिएगा ही चाहिएगा. प्रॉपर रेड फ्लैग है ये एंटायर सेट. डन. तो विद दिस वी आर गोइंग टू गो विद द क्वेश्चन. तो आप एक बार चेक कर लो क्या ये मैच हो रहे हैं. इवन इन माई केस एग्जैक्टली तो नहीं आ रहा था बॉस आंसर, क्लोज इनफ ही आ रहा था. in some places I also got a massive gap, but still it was the right answer. मतलब close, massive gap, massive है, but even if you approximate you will go to that place only, so that was okay. अब इसमें बाकी का once you have this has to be the biggest headache. उसके बाद सब easy है because it's all calculation और calculator है, so we have no regrets. If we have the data, if you once have the data, then you should not look back, you should go for it, है ना. Total sales in million in 2019 from products in office supply. So we have office supply. We have office supply, which is this. इसका टोटल मांग रहे हैं. Yes, so चालू करें फिर 2019 का. करते चालू 3.6, 0.5, 2.4. I don't even want to risk doing manual calculation. 0.09, 0.25, 1.5, 4.4, and we have 1. It gives us 13.74. 13.74. 13.74 is not 18, is not 12.5, is not 16.5, so it has to be 13.5. 0.25 का फिर भी गैप आ रहा है. 0.25 looks like a small number. 0.25 looks like a small number, correct? But अपने केस में 0.25 will make a huge difference, क्योंकि वो चार्ट में 0, 0.5, 1.5 के स्केल पे चल रहा है. आई थिंक इट्स गोइंग टू बी अ मैसिव अप्रोक्सीमेशन. 13.75 को अगर मैं 13.5 बोल रहा हूँ तो किधर ना किधर तो बहुत बड़ा लोचा हुआ है ना बॉस. इट्स नाउ इट माइट सीम लाइक मैं आपको कन्विंस कर रहा हूँ कि ऐसा सेट मत करो, ऐसा नहीं है. आई एम जस्ट गिविंग माई रीजनिंग बिहाइंड व्हाई आई not like this set even one bit. It's not like I hate it, but I don't like it at all. The percentage increase in sales in furniture category they're asking overall, right? So they're asking for overall in terms of furniture. So here I'm going to go with the memory function, because then when are you going to use it? अगर data heavy में नहीं use कर रहे हो तो कब use करोगे, है ना? So what do we have? Add कर लेते पहले. Let's add 1.9, 6.1, 2.07 and 4.4. This comes up to 14.47. I'm going to put this in the memory. Okay. Now let's do for 2020. 2.3, 6.9, 2.1 and 4.5. So we get 15.8. So 15.8 divided by whatever was in our memory, 14.47. We get 1.091. ये मल्टीप्लिकेटिव फैक्टर आ गया. इससे आप 1 सब्ट्रैक्ट करो और 100 मल्टीप्लाई करो, यू गेट इट. 400 नहीं है, 100 मल्टीप्लाई करो, you get exactly in percentage, which is 9.19. Are you seeing the huge gap? 9.19. कोई ऑप्शन नहीं लग रहा है. दैट इज मतलब 9. चलो ठीक है. 0.25 का आया था पिछले केस में. यहाँ पे 1 is too far, 20 is way too far, 25 is way too far, 8% is our go, है ना? So now it's just like I'm finding out reasons, है ना? अब तो सर, अब तो आप जबरदस्ती कर रहे हो. But it is what it is. Hello, let's go to the next question. Question 3. Now I'm going on because I've decided to solve this. Varna फिर I don't even like solving a set like this, है ना? Let's go. How many subcategories had sales of 4 million or more in 2019 and registered an increase in sales in excess of 25%? Excess means greater than, है ना? Greater than 25% होना चाहिए और 4 मिलियन से ज़्यादा सेल होना चाहिए. तो फर्स्ट लेट्स काइंड ऑफ जीरो डाउन के 4 मिलियन से ज़्यादा किसका किसका है 2019 में. यस. तो आउट वी हैव 1, आउट वी हैव 1, आउट 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 वी हैव 1 more. This goes on, then we have 1 more and so. या अब इसमें क्या देखना है कि इंक्रीज जो है 25% से ज़्यादा होना चाहिए, राइट? जस्ट गिविंग यू एन आइडिया. अगर 4 है, 4 से ज़्यादा बोल रहे, 4 मिलियन और मोर बोल रहे, अगर 4 है तो 4 पे 25% मतलब कितना? 4 का 25% इज 1/4, राइट? तो 1/4 ऑफ 4 विल गिव अस 4 + 1 विच इज 5. तो वे लुकिंग एट वैल्यूज जो यहाँ पे 4 हैं तो यहाँ पे 5 होने चाहिए, राइट? दैट्स द काइंड ऑफ गैप वी आर लुकिंग एट. तो एटलीस्ट 1 का गैप होना चाहिए, मिनिमम डिफरेंस ऑफ 1 होना चाहिए. सो वी डू इट दिस वे, इट बिकम्स सो इजी, क्योंकि फिर आपको बैठ के कैलकुलेटर पे मार मार के नहीं देखना है ना, फटफट आ जाएगा। तो यहाँ पे सिर्फ 0.8 का गैप है। 6 के लिए 25% इज 1.5, नोप। 4 के लिए 1 का गैप होना चाहिए, 0.1 का गैप है। 4.4, 5.1, दिस लुक्स वेरी क्लोज। 4.1 एंड 3.1 इंक्रीज बोला है, सो दिस इज ऑल्सो आउट। नाउ वी आर, अच्छा ये 5.7 लगाना भूल गए, सॉरी। जहां पे एविडेंटली आ रहा था वो लगाना भूल गए, सॉरी यार। तो 5.7 एंड 7.7 लुक्स वेरी प्रॉमिसिंग। और क्या था, 4.4 एंड 5.1, अगेन 4.4 एंड 5.1, 4 का ही 1 है तो 4.4 का और भी ज्यादा होगा ना, 1.1 होगा। So it should have been 5.6, but it is not, so this is also out. Now, of all of the ones that we have had a look at, only thing that seems promising is 5.7 and 7.7. बस लगा के देख लो, right? Still, trying out only one value is better than trying out so many values. So 7.7 compared to 5.7 is how much? 1.35. That's 35%. We only wanted 25, but we've gotten 35%, which is a good thing. That means the answer is just this one value. They're asking how many subcategories? Just one. Yes, just one. Done. Whew. So this is sorted. We have one last question and then we'll be free from this set, which is sort of a panauti on the side. Chalo. Last question. So for the last question, what we have to do is we have to look at something called improvement index. That is, for a category, it is the maximum percentage increase in sales from 19 to 20 among any of its subcategories, right? So here we've somewhere seen 35% earlier, है ना? इसको रख के let's work on this. यहाँ पे हमने देखा 35%. Okay. Now we are looking at anything that could be more than 35 in the same category, and then keep that as the reference and बाकी का compare करके देखते हैं. So this is negative, ये जाने दो. 3.5 to 4.6 is just one increase. 1 upon 3 is 33% से भी कम. So we can let go of this. 3 से 4.4 is 1.5, अप्रोक्सीमेटली 1.5 इंक्रीज है 3 पे, तो यहाँ पे 50% के आसपास आ रहा है वो, है ना? 4.4 on 3, so we are getting, see, 46%. so यहाँ पे 46% है. Okay, so this has to be the maximum. ये है improvement index, so this is also overcome now. So technology का 46% है. Now we're looking for anything more than 46%. 46% is what? 50 के आसपास, है ना? So that's the number that we are taking and going. 50 के आसपास देखते किसका आता है. 50 मतलब आधा, आधे से ज्यादा, है ना? 50 मतलब आधा, आधा से इंक्रीज. सो इफ यू लुक एट सप्लाईज, सप्लाई अगर आधा से इंक्रीज होता तो ये 1.5 होता, 1.1 नहीं. 4 का आधा 2 है, 1 का ही इंक्रीज है. आई एम जस्ट गोइंग अप्रोक्सीमेशन हियर, राइट? 1.5 का आधा 0.75 है, सो दिस इज ऑल्सो नॉट आधा. 0.25 का आधा है 0.125. 0.125 स्टिल लेस देन 50 है ये. 0.09 to 1 is just 0.01 divided by 0.09, which is around 11%. No. Envelopes कम हो रहा है. Appliances 1 से ज़्यादा है, बॉस. This is what we want, है ना? ये चाहिए, ये 1 से ज़्यादा है. 2 का 50% is 1 से ज़्यादा 3.1. Perfect, है ना? 3.1 by 2 is how much? 1.55. तो 55% है. मतलब ऑफिस सप्लाईज डेफिनेटली हमने ऊपर वाला तो देखा भी नहीं है, वी हैवंट सीन वन मोर सब कैटेगरी लेफ्ट, बट विदाउट हैविंग अ लुक एट इट we can still say that this has to be greater than technology, है ना. Office supply has to be greater than technology because this is 55%. अब बस ये देख लो कि फर्नीचर में किसी का 50 के आसपास भी है क्या, अगर है तो बहुत बढ़िया, नहीं है तो उससे भी बढ़िया, काम खत्म. और एटलीस्ट यू नो द ऑर्डर के ऑफिस सप्लाईज शुड कम बिफोर टेक्नोलॉजी. ये क्या इंक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर है क्या? इंक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर है तो बिफोर आना चाहिए, राइट, बिफोर आना चाहिए. सो टेक्नोलॉजी एंड देन वी शुड हैव ऑफिस सप्लाईज. इसे रख के देखते कहीं पे कुछ दिख रहा है क्या. पहले टेक्नोलॉजी एंड देन ऑफिस सप्लाई आना चाहिए. ऑफिस सप्लाई फर्स्ट में नहीं, टेक्नोलॉजी एंड ऑफिस सप्लाई, टेक्नोलॉजी एंड ऑफिस सप्लाई. सो इट कुड बी बी और इट कुड बी डी. ओनली थिंग दैट इज डिसाइडिंग इज फर्नीचर. अगर फर्नीचर का 50% के आसपास कहीं पर भी है देन बी इज द आंसर, वरना डी. हमने ओवरऑल करके देखा था, ओवरऑल वी गॉट 8%, बट दैट डज नॉट टेल अस एनीथिंग अबाउट इंडिविजुअल इंक्रीज, है ना. तो बस वही करो, अभी इंडिविजुअली देख लो कहीं पर 50% के ऊपर है क्या. 4 का 52 होता है नहीं, 2 का 51 होता है नहीं, 6 का 53 होता है नहीं, 2 का 51 होता है नहीं. सो किसी का भी 50% नहीं है बॉस. दैट बेसिकली मीन्स फर्नीचर कैन नॉट बी इन द मिडल, फर्नीचर हैज टू बी द स्मॉलेस्ट, then comes technology, then comes office supply. Done. So again here we try to reduce the number of times we run to the calculator. वरना मम्मी मम्मी करके हर वक्त कैलकुलेटर के पास जाते हैं, we it eats up a lot of time और हमें रियलाइज भी नहीं होता है कि बॉस खत्म हो गया टाइम, राइट. विद दिस अपना ये वाला सेट भी हो गया है, आर मोस्ट फेवरेट सेट, बहुत ही प्यारा सेट. Yeah, so this gives a good finale for the entire one shot series for this particular paper. Like I said, ये दो जो questions है, ये दो जो set है, हमने marathon में किया था, the must do once or at least try once, and these two we've completed here. Okay. With this I think I'll leave you all. Thank you so much. अगर आपके पास कोई भी questions है, queries है in specific, don't ask questions. I'll tell you what the kind of questions you should be asking should be specific. सर ऐसे सिचुएशन में मेरे साथ डिफिकल्टी आती है LRDI में, इस टाइप का क्वेश्चन जब आता है, दैट इज व्हेन आई फेस इश्यूज, व्हाट शुड आई डू, तब मैं जो सोल्यूशन दूंगा वो स्पेसिफिक रहेगा. इफ योर क्वेश्चन इज सर LRDI नहीं हो रहा है, LRDI बहुत डिफिकल्ट लग रहा है, मॉक्स में मार्क्स नहीं आ रहे हैं, मॉक्स में परसेंटाइल गिर रहा है, स्टैग्नेंट हो रहा है, दीज आर वे टू जेनरिक. उसका मैं कोई भी सोल्यूशन दे दूं, आप इतना जनरल सोल्यूशन भी मेरे को देना पड़ेगा, और आप लगाओगे कैसे, उसे अप्लाई कैसे करोगे, ट्राई कैसे करोगे, है ना. फिर वो तो वही बात हो गई कि आपने पूछा मेरे को पूछने के लिए और मैंने बताया बताने के लिए. तो इफ यू वांट टू टारगेट अ प्रॉब्लम एंड सॉल्व इट, वी नीड टू बी स्पेसिफिक अबाउट इट. तो अगर आपके पास जैसे कोई भी स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चंस या क्वेरीज है, ड्रॉप इट इन द कमेंट्स एंड आई ट्राई द बेस्ट वे आई कैन केटर टू देम. ठीक है, ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट गाइस, चीयर्स.